Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the third unit. It is bridge engineering. So in this chapter we are going to study about various kinds of bridges, and also we will see what are the components of the bridges, where we have to construct the bridge, okay, and specifically first understand what is bridge, right? We will study today introduction and components of the bridges, right? So these are the few examples. What is bridge? To imagine it becomes very easy. So I have put some images here for you to understand what is exactly bridges and what work it does. Basic work it does, right? It connects the 2 points between the obstructions. Okay, above the obstruction. So that structure is called as bridge, right? Most of the times it is water flowing below the road or below the bridge, or somewhere we have to connect the 2 points between the river. So in that case what we do is we construct a bridge, right? That is an obstruction for the movement of vehicles. So these are some of the examples. The first drawing, this is from the Mumbai. It is the Borivali link seaway bridge, right? And this is the latest built bridge in 2019, right, in Delhi. Its name is Signature Bridge. Its name is Signature Bridge, right? And this is another type of bridge. It is little bit different, right? It is also, as you can see here, it's called Bogie Bill, India's longest railroad bridge. In this bridge, there is a way for railways so that trains can move on the bridge, and there is a way for there is a road for the movement of vehicles, right? If you can see here, in this here, right? Can you see this below part here, right? Here it is a passage for a train. There are tracks have been laid where trains can move, right? Above this, exactly, if I zoom this image, right, if I zoom this image here, can you see these street lights? Can you see the street light here? This road here, the road is constructed above the railway, after keeping some gap for the proper gaps, space between the for the movement of train, and the depending upon the height of the train, the space has been left here, right? This space is left, right? After over that, there is a construction of road here. This is road, right? And this is for train, right? It is for train, right? This is one of the example. This type of bridges are less, and this one is in this type is the longest, where it is on the river. It is covering the distance of around 4.76 kilometers. It is in the it is flowing. It is constructed over the Brahmaputra river. It is constructed over the Brahmaputra river. These are to you to show that what are the types of bridges, and to it becomes very easy to understand. Right, once you see the real images of the bridges, you will understand what type of bridges are constructed and what we are dealing with, right? So first we'll understand what is bridge, right? Bridge is a structure built to carry road and railway traffic or other moving loads over a depression or a or such or obstructions such as rivers, canals, channels, right? Valleys, roads, and railways. Suppose if you might have seen the crossings, right, where a train or a track of the rail railway track and the road is meeting at the same level. So to avoid the congestion and traffic jam at that point, what we do is we construct a bridge for the road vehicles, right? So that they can move at from the above and they don't obstruct the movement of train, and the train doesn't obstruct the movement of the vehicles. So in this case, that becomes an obstruction. The train or the track, railway track, becomes an obstruction for them. So in that case, we go for bridges. If there is a river flowing between the two connecting points, right? If you consider there is a point A, right, and there is a point B, right, and there is a river flowing here like this, right? So in this case, what happens? We will construct a road till here, right? But how will we will be connecting this road? How can we connect this road? So for this purpose, this is the direction of water flowing, right? Now what we do is we construct a bridge here and connect it so that it becomes a joining member, a connecting member between the two sides of the road above the obstruction. Okay, same thing happens in the case of the example what I gave of the level crossing, right? The rail track might be moving in this direction and the road is moving in this direction. So in that case, to avoid if the traffic density has increased over a period of year, we will try to avoid this traffic congestion so that the time is not wasted over this, right? And we construct a bridge over it so that there is no obstruction for the each other's movement of the vehicles, right? So that is what the depression gap or obstruction is said to be. Right, you understood, right? If I show you the example here, this was in the plan, right? Same thing I will draw here. You see, this is your road, right? And this is your road. Now there is a river here, right? There is a river flowing in this direction. So now in this case, what we do is we construct a bridge, right? We construct a bridge here like this, so that it doesn't so that we can overcome that obstruction. If you say same thing, this you are showing in from the top, right? This is a top view. This top view. If I see the section, if you see the section, it looks like this, right? This is a depression, right? So this is your water level, right? This is your water level, right? Now what you're going to do is you're going to, your roads are here and standing here like this, right? For this, what you're going to do is you're going to construct a bridge like this with the pillars, right? You're going to construct a bridge like this. So you're going to connect the depressions. So this is a how it to understand how it, what we are trying to say in the definition, right? Over the depression. This is a depression. How it looks in the section and how it looks from the top. What I tried to show you, right? When we are connected two roads, this side road from here and here, we want to connect it in this fashion. We connect it, right? Next is, it is constructed to carry highway traffic, so it is known as highway bridge, right? It is known as highway bridge. Why? Because it carries a highway traffic. If there is a railway traffic, then it is called railway bridge. If it is combined highway and railway bridge, then it is called as a rail cum road bridge, right? What we saw in the previous slide, that about the longest railroad bridge, right? That is a combination of road as well as the rail, right? The type of material that is used for the construction of the bridge. Previously, there were no concrete, so they used to go for timber and stone masonry and brick masonry type of bridges. Now, due to the development, we go for concretes, that is reinforced concrete, or it might be a pre-stressed concrete, right? Or it might be a steel. We go for steel, right? In the modern age of the bridge are regarded as the most important engineering structures. Without them, the communication of the roads and railways across the rivers is virtually impossible. Right? What he's trying to say in the last point is that in this modern age, right, we want to have the connectivity all over the to all the places. We don't want to leave any place which doesn't have any connectivity. If this happens, if there is no connectivity, then the development of that area will not happen. So for that, we want to have a connectivity over the different parts of the country, right? So for that, what we do, we have to construct the bridges to connect them or to overcome the obstruction. The branch of civil engineering, which deals with design, construction, maintenance of the bridges, is called bridge engineering. What it is called? It is called as bridge engineering, right? This is an example that I was trying to say to you, that if suppose previously there was a road here, right? There was a road going from here to here, right? So in that case, what will happen? During the movement of trains, we have to stop the movement of vehicles, right? Because we cannot make trains to stop for the movement of vehicles. So we have to, whenever the train is moving on this line, the vehicles are to be stopped. So for that case, that what would happen? All the vehicles would stand on the both the sides, right? So what would happen? The Due to this, there was traffic jam. There would cause accidents. Wastage of time would happen, and this as the intensity of population increasing in the India, due to which the traffic on the roads was also increasing. To avoid this conflict between the roads and the rails, what we could do is we construct a bridge like this, right? We construct a bridge so that we don't have to have a conflict points or interference between each other. Now in this case, the train can move easily without any tension, right? Without any problem. Same way, the vehicles also can move over this bridge without any problem, because the cautionary which was required before this bridge, that is not needed now, right? This is called railway overbridge because it is constructed over the railway. So it is called ROB. It is called railway overbridge. Next is components of bridge. First is substructure, bearing, superstructure, and ancillary works such as protective works. Protective works comes under the ancillary works, right? So what are the components then? We said there are four components. First one is substructure, second one is bearings, third is the superstructure, and the fourth is the ancillary works, or you can say protective works. Now first we'll understand what is substructure, right? And we will see through the diagram that which part is called as substructure, right? In this case, right, from the foundation up to the this girder, you can say, or a beam. Girder is nothing but a beam with a larger depth, is called as girder, right? Up to this beam, can you see this beam, right? This up to this height is called as substructure. Foundation including, if what type of foundation, it depends upon this type of soil, right? So above that, pier, abutments, wing walls. Okay, above the cap of pier cap, right, it is a pile cap, and this is a pier cap, right? Whatever that is there below the bearing, right, from the top surface of the pier cap to the bottom of the foundation, right, from the top surface of the cap to the bottom of the foundation is called substructure. It is called as substructure, right? Next is bearing. Bearings are nothing but it is for the movements, it is for the transverse and the longitudinal movements of the girders and the road surface, or it can be a upper part of the, or you can say superstructure, right? So that slab or beam, you can say. Why this movement is required, due to the movement of the vehicles, they are trying to push the bridge along the direction of movement, in the direction in which the vehicles are moving, in the same direction the bridge will slightly try to move due to the force applied, right, during the movement. So due to allow this movement, because if you don't allow this movement, then there is a formation of stresses in the girders and the slabs and in the piers as well. So to avoid that, we provide this bearing, so that there should be some small movement of the vehicle, right, so that it becomes the stresses are reduced at that point. So this for this the bearing is used. Next is the superstructure, the part which is above the bearing, the part which is above the bearing, right, to the road surface or to the parapet, from the top of the bearing to the top surface of the parapet. That part is called as superstructure. You can see in this image, right, this girder and the above part till the end of that part is called as superstructure. Now what are these ancillary works, or you can say the protective works? These are done to the sides of the bridges. Can you see here? The abutment and wing walls have been constructed, because we have to construct the bridges at higher level from the depression, right, and we have to connect the roads at a higher level, right, because we are constructing the bridge at a higher level means we have to right, if this was your actual road previously and this is an obstruction for you, right, now what has happened is, due to this obstruction, due to the construction of bridge, now we have raised the height of the road, right, approach road. So during this part, the sides of that embankment, right, the sides of the embankment has some slope, because we have raised, so we are going for embankments, right, and in that case, to avoid the soil to erode from the embankment, what we do is we do turfing over the side surface. I will show you what we were talking about, right. I will show in the coming lectures what is the protective works or the ancillary works that we do for the bridges. right? So what is substructure? The function of the substructure is to support this superstructure and provide access to the traffic to the level of bridge superstructure through approaches. Now what I showed in the previous drawing, that the road which connects to the bridge, right, at the level of bridge level, whatever height is at the bridge is, at the same height we increase the height of the road and bring it to the same level of that of bridge. So that road which connects the bridge, right, is called as approach road, or it is called as approaches, right? So next is, so this super substructure supports this superstructure to distribute the load to the soils. What it does, what is the function of it? To take the load from the superstructure, from the road surface, and then transfer it to the soil below it. Now what it consists, what does the superstructure or the substructure consist of? The substructure consists of foundation, piers, abutments, wing walls, and the approaches. I have told you about the approaches, but to understand what is wing wall, what is abutment, and what is pier, right, that we will study in the coming classes. Just understand what it is till now. And they support this superstructure of the bridges. It supports all the superstructures of the bridges. Bearings, the device fixed on the abutments or on the abutment cap or the pier caps to allow the expansion and contraction free. See, you can see here free, so that there should not be any stress developed here. So we are freely allowing it to expand or contract, or to have some movement or deflection, right, of the bridge. And those devices which are being placed for this free movement of the deflection, expansion and contraction is called as bearing. This is a most important part, and it is also a weak point of the bridge. That is, you can also say that the joint point of the superstructure and the substructure is the weakest part of the bridge. It requires a high maintenance, right? It requires high maintenance because it is a moving part. Understanding? Because it is a moving part. The next is superstructure. It is also known as superstructure. The upper part of the bridge consisting of structural systems in the form of beams, girders, arches, suspension cables, parapets, railings, foot slabs, and carrying the communication routes is called as superstructure, right? What I explained in the previous diagram, the same thing, it is there, it is in the written form, right? It is in the written form. Now what is ancillary works, right? The turfing, the revetment done on the slopes of the abutments, right? Aprons, right, below the bridge, where the bridge is constructed, below it, when the water is flowing to the bridge, right, at the ground level, below the bridge, what we do is we construct the apron, concrete or the stone masonry bed is being provided, so that the scoring of the soil below the bridge should not happen, so that the soil should not come out and foundation should not be visible to the should not come into contact with the atmosphere. We'll see the image, we'll see the example of it, right? What is scoring, what are the defects if we allow the foundations to come in contact with the atmosphere, right? So that we will study in the coming classes. So you understood what is substructure, superstructure, bearing, and ancillary works. So this is all for today. Okay, we will study in the later classes about the various components. Okay, we'll go in deep about the various components like apron, weir, right, wing walls, abutments in the next class.